All right, so welcome everybody. This is module one, lesson three of our mindset mastery. And so I'm here, Chris Baker, and Al's with me. Al, how you doing?
I'm fantastic, my friend. It is great to see you. This past week has just blown by. There's so much good
Yeah,
stuff happening.
for
It's just,
sure.
it's exciting.
Yeah, it is. It is. So listen, we're excited to bring you this. Before we get started, let's just say that what we want to do is encourage you to go to our Raise Your Bars Facebook group and download the worksheets that go along with this. Now, if
Mhm.
you're listening to it on the podcast, if you're watching on YouTube, first of all, subscribe to the channels, like it, share it, so more people can see it. But also go to Raise Your Bars Personal Growth Solutions on Facebook. Sign up; it's free and you
Mhm.
can get the worksheets that go along with this. And
Absolutely.
today's lesson is about how to nurture a growth mindset. And our learning objective is to help you shift to a growth mindset that will also enable you to develop the other mindsets in this course.
Mhm.
I know that sounds like a lot, but now that you know some of the characteristics of your dominant mindset, how it influences your life and how it was formed, here are some ideas to help you nurture a growth mindset. Now, whether you're starting out with a predominantly fixed mindset or you have a growth mindset already, but need to work on a few areas, this lesson will help you.
Absolutely. So before we can work on shifting to a predominantly growth mindset, it helps to understand your why. Now, Chris, I just want to pause here before I go any further because you've done so much work on,
Yeah.
Simon Sinek's and the Golden Circle and finding your why. Why don't you just maybe just off the top of your head throw out to people why it's so important that they understand their why behind what they're doing before we even dive more into the mindsets.
Yeah, for sure. And it is such an important thing. And it's one that is honestly is overlooked and probably
Mhm.
underestimated by a lot of people. And, I can just tell you from my personal experience, right? For when I was growing up and all through my adult life until I discovered that Simon Sinek's Golden Circle and Find Your Why in 2016, 17, I would tend to start things and then when they got a bit difficult, I'd give up and I'd look for something else. I call
Mhm.
it the path of least resistance, or we call it following the shiny object syndrome.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
me.
that, that's what we do. And I think if the majority of people out there either watching, listening, or honest with themselves, they've probably done the same thing.
Mhm.
And so what happens when you identify your why, when you really hone in on what's your purpose in life, what are you here for? What it does is it gives you that passion, that desire, as Napoleon Hill says in Think and Grow Rich, that white hot burning desire that
Right.
frankly it means that you will bust through walls to get to what it is that you're looking for because
Mhm.
it means so much to you. Right. So what will happen then is when you come across obstacles, which you will if you're stretching yourself
Absolutely.
and growing, you basically move around those obstacles and keep going. And
Mhm.
and often what you'll do, to be honest, is you're looking like one or two steps ahead. So you'll actually probably overcome the obstacles before they even become obstacles because you're being pulled towards that purpose and that is that driving force
Mhm.
for you.
Mhm.
And again, it's no exaggeration to say that up until 2016, I didn't have it, and therefore I was drifting through life, um, coasting a little bit, if I'm honest about it. And
Right.
as soon as I found that, it gave me that purpose and that passion to keep driving forward. Now,
Right.
is it a golden egg that gives it you what you need straight away? Of course, it's not, because it's hard work, it takes effort, it takes commitment. Um,
Yeah.
but what are we now? Sort of 7, 8 years down the line, I'm living my dream life, right?
Right.
I'm doing my dream job at Disney, teaching leaders, both from aspiring leaders through to future executives,
Mhm.
helping them with discommunication. We're helping them with emotional intelligence. We're helping them with goal setting. I'm able to work with you, Alan, and help businesses, add zeros to their bottom line at the end, not at the front.
Not at the front.
And
Yes.
and yeah, and with YouTube channels, with our podcast and everything, I'm literally giving back, which is what my purpose is, right? To add
Right.
value to other people so that they can become the best version of themselves.
Hmm.
And by doing that, it's giving me fulfillment and purpose and meaning to my life, which
Yeah.
it pays me back in a number of ways, and makes me very, very proud and satisfied.
Yeah, and Chris, just to add to that, I think, when we really discover our why, our purpose, uh, like you said, when we hit those obstacles in life, that's the driving force to keep us going. When you're in your comfort zone, there are no obstacles. Right? You're
Well,
because you're just coasting through life. But if you really want to get out of your comfort zone and grow and stretch yourself and grow and expand your business or start a business or expand your family or travel or whatever that is that you
yeah,
want to do, that burning desire that you have to do in your life, then
yeah.
you really need to get out of your comfort zone and pursue it with everything you have. And I think
Well,
knowing your why, your purpose is so important in that.
for sure, yeah, and I think the thing there, Al, like you say, if you're living within your comfort zone, you're on a fixed mindset,
Hmm.
right? You're on a fixed mindset, and maybe you think this is as good as it gets, or maybe it's like, what's the point of working any harder? I'm always going to get what I've always
Yeah,
got. Well,
yeah,
if you have that attitude, that fixed mindset, then yes, you are correct. You will.
yeah.
But to me, knowing that purpose and using that as your driving force, that is the definition of a growth mindset,
Hmm.
because it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
that's the key thing. So
I love
um
that. I love
yeah,
that. So again, as we're shifting to a predominantly growth mindset, we learn about our why. We just heard what Chris said about explaining the background to his why and where he's going. Um, we need to learn some of the best, understand the benefits of what happens when we do this, right? Do you want to get out of shifting to a growth mindset? What benefit do you want to get out of
yeah,
shifting to a growth mindset? How will that growth mindset improve your life, your relationships, your work, your business? Now, getting clear on the life-changing potential of this exercise will keep you on track when things get tough. And like we said, you are going to encounter some obstacles as you are pursuing your why and this growth mindset.
correct. Yeah. And ultimately, Al, what everybody wants to know, whenever you're talking about anything or you're asking them to change, or whether it's change their mindset, change their attitude, change their behaviors, what do they ask you? They want to know what's in it for me, right?
Hmm.
Why should I
Hmm.
do this? What am I going to get?
Hmm.
And so what we're moving on to now is the need to set attainable goals. And what I mean by this is you need to understand what you can achieve and what is within the realm of possibility. Now, if you're an average vocalist, honestly, no amount of hard work and effort will make you an opera singer. Now,
And
this
that's okay.
isn't contrary, it's not contrary to a growth mindset, despite what you may think initially. This
Hmm.
approach helps you to recognize where you need to put in the effort and what you can let go of, increasing the likelihood of achieving your attainable goals. Now,
Yeah.
I do want to say on this point as well, Al, that
Hmm.
that I also think that when we say that you need to set an attainable goal that you can achieve that was within the realm of possibility, this does not apply to your vision, right? Your
Right.
vision is that grand overarching thing that probably isn't within the realm of possibility,
Hmm.
because that will keep you moving forward. And
Hmm.
if you only have an end goal that is within the realm of possibility, what happens when you get there? You stop, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You
we
get
don't want
stuck.
that. But these attainable goals are your stepping stones along the way to that grand vision that follows and allows you to follow your purpose.
Yeah. And I mean, if we could talk about our mentor, John Maxwell, for a moment, and his grand vision is to see leaders transformed worldwide.
Yeah,
And he knows that he will never see that in his lifetime, but he's building his legacy and empowering the Maxwell leadership team to go out and continue on the work when John is gone. John
yeah,
is gone, right? He's
yeah,
laid the foundation for us, and that's his big, scary, audacious goal that he
yeah.
knows he's not going to achieve, but he's putting in place the team for the legacy. So
Exactly.
yeah, it's really kind of cool that way. All right. So, in your day to day life, test out what it's like to approach new situations, tasks, projects, or skills with this growth mindset. Get out of your comfort zone daily. Do something that's going to stretch you every day and get you out of that comfort zone. What have you been avoiding because you're afraid to try? What projects have you immediately dismissed because you felt you weren't smart or talented enough?
Yeah. Or did somebody else tell you that?
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
other thing, right?
Exactly.
So, challenge yourself to try something small at first. Set a physical challenge. Maybe it's like take the stairs instead of the elevator, try a push up challenge, go to a yoga class, get away from your desk once an hour, just stand up and stretch. Adjust your posture at your desk. Maybe get a standing desk. Like I'm at a standing desk now. I know Al's talking about, using the standing desk in his office there,
Mhm.
or try something you routinely avoid. Maybe it's parallel parking or attending a networking function alone. Try something like that. Then what we want you to do is try something a bit more personally meaningful, right? And go into it with no expectations, either positive or negative. Just do it for fun, do it for growth, and accept that failure is part of the process and embrace it.
Now, spend time each day reflecting on your successes and your failed attempts. Yes, acknowledge what went wrong. The point isn't beat yourself up, but to review the lessons. What did you learn? What can you do differently? What can you avoid in the future? This is going to help you cement the learning and apply it in the future. It also helps to normalize failure and to reframe it as an opportunity for growth.
Absolutely. Those things that go wrong are learning opportunities and they're temporary
100%.
setbacks. So
100%.
embrace it that way.
Yeah.
The other thing is to celebrate other people's success. One of the dominant traits of a fixed mindset is actually resentment of other people's success. So actively work to dismantle that type of thinking by celebrating their wins. Maybe send an email or send flowers to celebrate a promotion. If a friend or associate publishes a book, buy it and ask them to sign it. If their band is playing, go and see them.
Mm-hmm.
If they announce a successful deal on LinkedIn, congratulate them. Focus specifically on successes that have personal meaning for you and that inspire maybe a twinge of envy in the fixed mindset part of you. For example, if you're a small business owner and someone signed a new major client, instead of feeling resentful, really celebrate their win.
Yeah, that's so good and so difficult. If I'm going to be honest, I've definitely
Good
felt
job.
that twinge of
Yeah.
envy a number of times in my life.
Yeah.
The next thing is think of people in your personal and professional life who have this growth mindset. Observe them, ask them questions, figure out what keeps them positive and focused on learning and growth. It's so
Yeah.
important.
Definitely. And you can do that with Alan myself, right? Because you've got
Absolutely.
access either to the Facebook group and put comments in there. If you're on YouTube, put comments in there. We reply to all of those. So do that because we will help you with that too.
Yeah.
And then the last part on this is believe in yourself. Above all, use these tactics to hone a belief that your skills and talents can be grown and developed. Consistently work towards an important goal and check yourself when you start to fall into that fixed mindset pattern.
So here's some tips for developing a growth mindset. First, we need to shift the focus from factors out of our control. Okay? If it's out of our control, let it go.
Let
Make the
it go.
best of it, move forward, right?
Yeah.
Embrace trial and error, incremental improvement, and going past your limits. Thrive on challenge. See the potential for growth in failure. Catch yourself when you're in fixed mode and switch to that growth mindset mode, and then acknowledge and embrace imperfection. It's okay. We're all going to make mistakes. But if you don't uncover your weaknesses, you'll never be able to improve them.
Yeah, and I'll add on that there because
Yeah,
I
please.
tell my classes, I tell everyone I'm a recovering perfectionist because I used to believe in perfection. But
Yeah,
honestly, what we teach and a growth mindset says we're looking for continuous improvement. And therefore, if we're looking for continuous improvement, by definition, perfection can't exist.
that's right.
Right. So you
That's so
have to
good.
let go of that desire to be perfect and desire for everything to be right before you get started. Because if you
Mhm.
do, you're never going to get started.
That is true.
All right. So the question now is, can I really change my mindset? Well, yes, is the answer. You absolutely can, one behavior at a time. Now, if you try to tackle a fixed mindset all at once in every facet of your life, it will be overwhelming and likely impossible. But if you break it down into small, manageable pieces and you make small shifts, consistently,
Right.
you'll experience powerful change.
Hmm.
Now, the brain can only create new neural pathways if you consistently practice a behavior. It's what we call muscle memory, right? So,
Right.
by uncovering resistance and negative thoughts, it's possible to shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Now, review the above tactics and try them out. Focus on those one or two that work best for
Hmm.
you. Open yourself up to new activities and interests, and you'll develop new ways of thinking.
Absolutely.
So, what's our key takeaways from today? Well, first of all, figure out your why. How will a growth mindset improve your life? Secondly, embrace trial and error, imperfection, incremental improvement, and going past your limits. And then lastly, thrive on challenge. See the potential for growth in failure.
Yeah, that's so good. So, some action steps. First, choose one area of your business or personal life to focus on. Where would nurturing a growth mindset yield the most results and most improve your life? Building your business, creating a portfolio, or improving your relationship. And then think of a specific behavior related to a fixed mindset that you want to shift and write it down. Refer back to the chart in lesson one. For example, ignores constructive criticism or feedback or sees the success of others as threatening. And then, like Chris mentioned, work on your why. What is your why? And how would changing this behavior improve your life?
So, number four, set a goal for that behavior change. Don't generally say that you want to be more open to constructive feedback, right? Think of a specific scenario where you'll practice a growth mindset. For
Mhm.
example, focus on being less defensive and more open to feedback from your business partner or your spouse or your colleague at work. And I would say actually go and seek feedback would be
Yes.
a good start there.
Yes.
Number five, choose one or two tactics from this lesson. Not all of them, just one or two, and then commit to testing them out for 21 days. For example, reflect on your growth daily or celebrate other people's success. Add it to your calendar or create a reminder on your smartphone that goes off on your watch or wherever it is.
Mhm.
After 21 days, answer the following questions in your action guide. How did you feel after applying these tactics? What did you do differently as a result? And what positive impact do you think regularly practicing these impacts could have on your life? And then number six, as you start to notice a shift, broaden your scope. Applying a growth mindset to more areas of your life, and it's that consistent growth, right? Don't stand still.
Absolutely. Well, everyone, that brings us to the end of this lesson. We are so appreciative for you that are tuning in. And again, like Chris said at the beginning, don't forget to subscribe. Head over to our Raise Your Bars Personal Growth Solutions Facebook group so you can download the worksheets from this lesson. And again, if you're on YouTube, subscribe. Share this with family, friends, coworkers, somebody that may get value out of this. We so appreciate you. And again, if you are a business owner looking to grow your bottom line profits, then go to raiseyourbars.com and watch our short webinar there. And Chris and I would love to jump on a call with you and explain to you how we can help you increase your profit margin or your profits or your bottom line profits this year by 25% or more. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Have an amazing day.
Bye for now.